Good morning. Cindy Island here in Leander, Texas, right outside of Austin, Zone 8B. And today, this video is going to be about problems in the garden. Yes, problems. If you've been gardening for any length of time, you know that sometimes things go wrong. And so we're going to use some investigative skills today and see if I can figure out some of the problems and why. So I know that one of the things that I have planted in this garden early on, this project we put in about 4 years ago. I put in this Greg's mist flower. Isn't that pretty? And that is something that is a real butterfly attractor. They just go crazy for this stuff. And it is fairly invasive. It will creep along and fill in a garden, and I was okay with that because I really did want, there's nothing back here, and so I thought that'd be great. I'd love to have all of that filling in this garden. So it doesn't bother me that it's invasive. Also have a beautiful Pride of Barbados that's starting to bloom. While I'm here, I'm going to show you this guara. Aren't these pretty? The flowers, they look like little butterflies. And the butterflies love to come in here and land on them. Here are some wild zinnias that have just been, these are leftovers from past zinnia plantings. And then here are my struggling mist flower. So we're going to really figure out today what is going on. You see all those patches of dirt. So that will be filled in with mulch by the time we're finished today, and hopefully my water issue will be figured out. But I have a lot of weeding to do, so I will get started on that. So this Greg's Mist has been here, this is fairly old, several years, and every winter it completely dies back, and we cut it all the way to the ground. Here we are, first part of July, and it's bounced back. Of course, it would have looked a lot better had the water system been working properly, but it's still, hanging on. But one thing I've noticed is that it's laying down on top of itself. So a helpful thing to do is to just top it a little bit. You don't want to do a deep cut because it's just too hot for the plant to bounce back. But just cut like the top third of it, and it'll help it to kind of bounce back because it's just all falling on top of itself. And hopefully it's gotten very leggy. And I'm going to do two things. One thing is I've improved the water source, and another thing is I'm going to go ahead and give it another light feeding, not a heavy feeding, but a light feeding. And then we're going to come back through with mulch. Okay, I think we found one of our problems. We kind of went around and used a hoe to lift up the dirt around these drip hoses, and we found one of them has a fairly big hole. With either a shovel or mice did this, and it's caused the other areas to lose their pressure. So we'll fix this. We'll just put another replacement piece of tubing here, and that should get all the other areas highly pressurized, and everybody else will get all the water they need too. So on further investigation, we discovered that we did have a pretty good cut here. It looks like maybe a shovel went through it, and we have a lot of spewing water, which is reducing the pressure in the rest of the garden bed. So I am going to take our nifty neato little pipe tubing cutter, and I'm going to just cut out that section, and I'm going to use a joiner to connect the two again. This is available through dripdepot.com. I will put a link below. The tubing that is available there, the end caps, everything you need to do your do-it-yourself drip irrigation system. So let's get started. Got one side done. That's the broken piece. You can see it has a really big slice in it right there. Definitely shoveled. And then I take this one and put it in about 1/2 inch. And if it won't go in, you can warm it up with a lighter. But that went in just very nicely. Then you screw it down and it won't come loose. Okay, and then about 1/2 inch, and then you screw this in, and it tightens down on there, and they won't come apart. And there we have it. You just bury it again, and now the pressure will be corrected all in the rest of the garden. Okay, so this is an organic fertilizer. This is all-purpose plant tone, and I am just going to lightly cast some around here, not get too crazy, and then I'll water it in really good. You're really supposed to fertilize in the spring and in the fall according to the directions on the back. And it says make sure to wear gloves when doing this and try not to breathe this in. It's probably not the best thing to do, but I'm just going to hold my breath. So this is the mulch that we are going to spread all around. You normally do this in the fall when it's cooler, but this was kind of an emergency situation back here. So we are going to go ahead and put a light layer. This is Texas native cedar mulch. It is shredded organic, and it is wonderful for conserving moisture, keeping your water in the ground with the plants. And it also says that it's a natural bug and insect repellent. So that's a nice plus. And it keeps the weeds down. Once you put that layer on, you will notice less weeds. So before we put some mulch down, it's recommended that you kind of break up any old mulch. Sometimes mulch that's been here prior gets like really stiff and hard and like big puzzle pieces, and you need to break up your old mulch just so that you don't incur any bacteria developing underneath. So this is a really nifty tool. This is a soil cultivator. I got this one at Tractor Supply. You can get it, I think you can get it at Lowe's or in most hardware stores. It has 4 prongs. I think they make them with 6 prongs. But anyway, this is very lightweight. It's easy for me to use. I like this much better than a big heavy garden rake. This works great for me because I'm not the strongest anymore. So I just go in here and I just kind of make sure that the old mulch is broken up. I don't have any big puzzle pieces, and I'm just kind of aerating old mulch. Okay, so like here's what I'm talking about. There's old mulch that just needs to be broken up. If you put new mulch on top of that, you're going to have trouble. So I'm going to share a little gardening hack with you that I came up with. This is 2 cubic feet of mulch, and it weighs about 40 pounds, and it's quite heavy for me to lift and spread. So what I do is I cut the bag in half, and then I have 2 smaller bags. So let me demonstrate. Gotta have the old box cutter out here in the garden. I use this all the time. Flip it over. I am able to roll it, and I actually have my husband help me bring them out. Cut that in half. And now it's much easier to distribute the mulch. I can just shake it around where I'd like it to be. And I could never do this with that big bag. So I'm going to finish putting all the mulch in, and I'll show you the finished project in a little while. Okay, so we've refreshed the mulch. We've repaired 3 different places in the drip system where we had pretty good gashes from shovels. So we feel like we are getting good water everywhere. Just a note, when you are digging in your garden, you might want to put some little flags out to notice where the drip is before you start digging. But anyway, I think it looks great. The Greg's mist flower should start repairing itself, getting more of the purple blooms back, and I think I'll have more butterflies. So thank you so much for watching my channel today, and I hope everybody has a great day. Go outside and work in your garden, but only early in the morning right now in Texas. Have a great day. Bye.